Frustrated Model 12 users always comment on my videos as well as on forums and Facebook groups why they can't record the effects onto each of the channels separately and how they can do it, because they play it back and then there's no effects on there. I can understand the frustration, but in this video I will try to explain the basic concepts of mixing a song on a mixing board, which differs how you can use it in a DAW on your computer. And hopefully that will help better understand the audio routing of the mixer. And also I will demonstrate how you can record effect on each of the channels, different one, but that's later on. Hi everyone and welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Another session on the Model 12. Let's first recap the audio routing on most of the mixing disc, and in this case the Model 12. So the signal from your microphone or other instruments plugged in will come down to the gain and then down the channel strip. This is called the channel strip for each one. And here we have a compression, equalization, auxiliary sends, panning, and the fader. And then all of the channels from the fader levels we get summed up into the main and out into our speakers. And for the effects, we use, in this case, the auxiliary 2/effects knob to tap into that channel strip and send certain amount of signal into the effects module. And then the effects module output can be sent out to the main or to the sub, after fader listen or auxiliary 1. Of course, I'm talking about the Model 12. Other mixing desks will have different options. And the output, like your channel faders, is summed into the main. So the effects output will always go only to the main. So you cannot really record effects output into individual channels into your multi-track recorder tracks. So when you're playing back and then you turn the effects off, that means what you're listening to is a raw data, raw recording. And that's the ideal way. It allows you to change levels of the effects as you need to, because while you are, let's say, recording, you add certain effects. You might add some delay to the vocals or some reverb or chorus effect to the guitar. Now, later on, you might change your mind and you go, oh, that's too much reverb or too much echo or chorus. So during mixing down, it allows you to change that level because you have a raw, dry recording on your multi-track recorder. Of course, there are people who confuse this method because they might be coming from a DAW world where you can insert reverbs and delay and choruses as a plug-in on each of the channel strip. And you can have a delay on this one, reverb on that one, chorus on that one, and then they get summed. But on a mixing disc, that's not really possible, and that's not ideal as well. Now, some bigger mixing discs will have more than one effects module, and you will have more than one auxiliary effects send. So that way you can have one module generating reverb, another module generating delay, and then you can choose which of the channels will be using the reverb, which ones the delay, and which ones, both of them in any combination as such. But what if you are in a situation where you want multiple effects in your Model 12, 16, or the 24, or even the new Model 2400? How can we utilize that? Because you might want some chorus effect or slapback delay effect on your vocal as well as reverb. So how we manage that? And I think that's what most people would want to know, how to do that. And I hope in this video I'll be able to explain a method, because there are more than one method to do this. The simplest method I'm going to demonstrate that you can use to utilize multiple effects, being able to record a track with the effects on there, and later on apply a secondary or even a third effect if you wanted to apply. But in this example, I'm going to use two. A slapback delay for the vocal and then reverb with the rest of the instruments as well. So in this example, I've got a song that's on my SD card with multi-track recorder, and it's using 8 tracks. My last 9 and 10 is not used, so it's muted and it's down. And it's raw, so let's have a listen. Obviously, this is not a mix as such, it's a very small project. And let's have a listen and see how it sounds and how we can change it. At the moment, I'm not applying any effects. The song is called Hold On You.
If the shoe don't fit and you can't
Let's solo the
wear it,
vocals.
when your soul just scrapes the ground.
That's our
with
vocal.
the sleeves too.
Okay, so we've got the vocal. What we want to do now, add a slapback delay into this. So we go into our effects module. We can click the select button. And from the effects menu, I'm going to use a jog wheel to select Room 2, Plate Studio Live, Delay 1, and about 100 milliseconds. That should give me the slapback delay. And normally what I do is I'll turn up the effects for that channel all the way up to the 0 unity, and then start adding the effects output so it sums into the main. And I'm going to do this while I'm actually listening in context of the rest of the song, so I can adjust the balance of how much slapback delay I want.
Too long and the style playing wrong when the neck is tied and bound. Then there's a hold on you. Look out, you're almost strangled blue, drawn like a raggedy heart on a bad tattoo.
What I'm actually after is trying to use the slapback to double up the vocals and make it a little bit more, up front. And the reason I want to listen to it in context with the rest of the music is so I can adjust the level, so I can hear it as much as I like and back down just tiny bit. And you will find out the reason a bit later on in just a moment. So let's continue.
Wake up and drop that suit. Strip down and face your naked truth. It's been so long that it's time to make an escape.
Okay, I think I'm happy for this demonstration. We can hear the slapback delay adding a little bit more onto the vocal and making it stand out. So how are we going to record that slapback delay into the vocal? So what we want to do is now mute every other channel. You could do that, or you can disable the main. So the only signal that's coming down is the vocal going to the main, as well as the effects. Okay? And then what we want to do is record that into our main tracks 11 and 12, because 11 and 12 is what the main channel is. And just like I'm doing a mix down, and I've done a video of how to mix a song. If you haven't watched it, again, I like to keep prompting to my previous videos because I think they're quite useful. I think so. And we want to record just the vocal with the effects output applied to it into tracks 11 and 12. And to do that, we make sure we're not pressing any of the record buttons on any of the channels, and we just press the record. And then we let it run all the way through until the end of the song. Here we go. I will fast forward this so you don't have to wait for it to happen, but I'll let a few minutes to run so you can hear what is actually happening.
If the shoe don't fit and you can't wear it, when your soul just scrapes the ground.
Okay, now that we've recorded the track with just the vocals and the effects into main 1 and 2, we need to use the menu system to swap. So let's do that. So from the menu, we'll just go into MTR, which stands multi-track recorder, and then track edit. And then we're just going to use track swap. And we want to swap track 11, even though 11 and 12 are pretty much identical. Of course, the effects does have some, the delay has some stereo effects, but we're going to lose that, unfortunately. And that's how it is, because we are trying to transfer a stereo effect into a mono channel. So that's how it's going to work. So next we're going to go into from 11 into 1, which is our channel of the vocal, and we're going to swap them. So you can use either 11 or 12, and you can see which one's better, but because it's the slapback delay, it shouldn't have much issue. So I'm going to click yes, and now it's swapped. Okay, so let's get out of the menu and let's have a listen now. Turn off our effects, turn it down to make sure that what we are listening now on channel 1 is with slapback delay.
If the shoe don't fit and you can't wear it, when your soul just scrapes the ground.
And it sure is. So we are listening to channel 1, and it does have both effects on there. So if we're happy with that, let's have a listen to the rest of it. Now I'm just going to enable all the rest of the channels with no effects. Let's see how it sounds.
With the sleeves too long and the style played wrong.
All right, so with the rest of the music, now I have vocals which recorded with slapback on there. Next, now I can select, let's say, a plate for the vocal, and we'll add plate into our slapback vocal.
When the neck is tied and bound, then there's a hold
That's with
on you.
plate delay.
Look out, you're almost strangled blue, drawn like a raggedy heart
Without it, and now.
on a bad tattoo. Wake up and drop that suit, strip down and face your naked truth. It's been so wrong.
Now, if you realize that, we used actually too much slapback reverb in the chorus, because I did apply, automation or manual automation in here and added a little bit extra slapback delay during the chorus, but I thought it was too much. So how we actually revert back? If you haven't done anything else, you're still safe. And if you are not backing up your songs onto a computer using the SD card, either turning the TASCAM into mass storage mode and duplicating it onto your PC for backup, you better do that, because you never know. That's the first thing you should do once you record all your tracks onto your SD card, is duplicate it, make sure you have a backup. But in this case, we don't really need to go back into our backup to restore the original raw unaffected vocal. Is we can do a swap again. So I'm just going to go into the menu to multi-track, track edit, track swap. Now this time I'm going to swap 1 back to 11. So I'm actually swapping it back, because remember, it's a swap. not deleting it. It's just basically swapping 11 to 1. And now we swapped it back because we haven't recorded anything else. Okay, let's go back out and let's have a listen. Our vocal, and it should be the dry vocal back again. Let's turn off the effects.
If the shoe don't fit and you can't...
And sure is. So that's how you can go back and then do it again until you are happy with the result, and then you can commit from it. And committing is really important. Once you've got it right, just commit to it and finish the song off. Don't keep on playing around trying to make it better. Once you are happy the second time round, you should be happy the first time round, but if you are still experimenting, second time round, once you are happy, then commit to it and continue on with the rest of your mixing. And finish the song and let it out to the world and start the next song. Well, I hope this video was informative. Now you know how you can utilize and use the effects to record and have recorded tracks with effects on them. So that you can apply multiple effects on each of the channels. Of course, from the Model 16, 24 and the 2400, having more channels will also help you, so you can swap it onto empty tracks as well and have, be more creative. But on the 12, there's limited tracks you can do, bounce on and off it, but that is possible. So if this video was helpful, make sure you give me the thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great time making music. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio, guys.